How's everybody doing today? I hope you're well. I have a big trip planned for the first week of November, and I am very excited. I have the opportunity to visit Utah's Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, and I'm going there with a friend I made right here on YouTube. So not only am I visiting a place I have never hiked before, but I'm getting the opportunity to turn a digital friend into a real life friend. So I thought I would make a video about the gear I'm going to be carrying on this adventure. So let's start with the sleep system I'm going to be carrying. I will be carrying my Nemo Flyer self-inflating kind of hybrid pad. I just recently did a review on this pad, and if you watched that, you know I am a fan. It does have an R value of 3.3, which I'm hoping is going to be enough for the cold desert nights. I have been told that cold in the desert is a different kind of cold than cold in the mountains, but I have faith that this pad is going to treat me right. I'm going to be sleeping in my Mountain Hardwear Lumina Z 22 degree bag. I've had this bag for about 6 years now, and I've taken it in deep, deep snow. I've taken it in well below freezing temperatures, and I have always been really comfortable and really warm. For a synthetic bag, it's pretty packable and pretty lightweight, which are both bonus points. I've used it hundreds of times, and I've always been super, super comfortable. I have no doubt that it's going to keep me plenty warm in the desert. Now, just in case my sleeping bag isn't warm enough, I'm also going to be carrying my Sea to Summit Thermolite Reactor Extreme bag liner. This is essentially just a bag liner made of base layer material. I've carried it on a number of trips, and it always adds just that little bit of extra warmth to get me through the night. And last but not least, my Nemo Phylo Elite pillow. I love this little pillow. Super lightweight, super comfortable, very packable. It goes with me on every trip. And I will be putting that entire sleep system into my Durston Gear X-Mid 2. I had considered bringing a freestanding tent on this trip just because it is going to be kind of a sandy environment and possibly even some sandstone. But I really want to use this as an opportunity to test this tent out in some different environments. Because we will be in kind of a sandier environment and the stability of your tent is, of course, wildly important, I'm going to be using these titanium sand and snow stakes from Vargo. I used these all last winter in the snow, and they do an amazing job. I'm hoping to have that same kind of experience in the sand. We will be experiencing some pretty dramatic shifts in temperature throughout the day. During the day while we're hiking, it's probably going to be in the mid to upper 50s. At night in the desert, it could get down to below freezing. So, with that in mind, during the day, I'll be hiking in my Mountain Hardwear convertible pants. They just zip off into shorts if I need them to. Now, I chose these pants over some of the other ones that I have because they're a bit stretchier. So if we do have to do any scrambling or any down climbing, they're not going to bind up and pinch and be uncomfortable. As a top, I'll be wearing my Patagonia Sun Hoodie that I've worn on just about every trip for the last 2 years. This doesn't offer much in the way of insulation, but it's a great wicking layer, so it's perfect to have your first layer right next to your skin to pull away any of that moisture that your body's going to generate. So if it does happen to get a little bit colder during the day while we're hiking, I'm going to be carrying one of my favorite pieces of gear. It is kind of a Waffle thermal zip-up hoodie that I got off of an old Navy clearance rack for literally $1.50 plus tax. And it has become just an integral part of my fall and winter kit. It's fairly lightweight, it keeps me incredibly warm, it's a perfect mid-layer. I love this hoodie, I wish I could get more of them, but sadly, I think Old Navy discontinued this line. Once we get to camp and the sun starts to go down, I'm going to want to add some layers and take away some of the layers that I've been hiking with. I certainly don't want to wear my sweat-covered sun hoodie, when we're trying to warm up around the campsite. So, I will be carrying this. It's just a 32 degree heat base layer I got from Costco for super cheap. Super soft, super comfortable, very lightweight, and does a great job of insulating. For my bottoms, I have these Patagonia Kaplan, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but they're made of that. Base layer pants, again, super lightweight, super warm, dry very, very quickly. These are super comfortable, and again, I got them off of a discount rack, so I did not pay full price. As my outer layer of insulation, I'll be carrying my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Shadow Insulated Hooded Jacket. This is not my favorite jacket, and I'm going to do a full review on that and let you know why, but it's the one I have. And again, I don't want to spend a ton of extra money when I don't need to. So even though I'm not 100% satisfied with this jacket, I'm going to wear it until it cannot be worn anymore, and then I'll replace it. And just as a precaution, I'm also going to be carrying my Rei Rain Jacket. These are great to bring on trips, especially winter trips. The mountains kind of have a mind of their own when it comes to weather, so you never really know. Even if you're not expecting rain, you could still get rain. But if you don't get rain, it's not wasted weight because you can use this as a windbreaker, you can use it as an extra layer of insulation. It's just a good idea to bring a rain jacket with you in the mountains. I'm going to be carrying 2 pairs of extra socks. The reason for that is I like to have one pair that just stay dry and clean that I can sleep in, but on this trip there is the distinct possibility that our feet are going to get wet, and wet feet and freezing temperatures are not a good combination. So I want to have one extra pair of socks to hike in the next day. On the subject of feet and wet feet, I'll be hiking in my Topo Athletic TerraVenture 3s. I've got maybe 50 miles on these so far. I really like this shoe. But, as I mentioned, we might be faced with some water crossings or some wet feet. So I am also going to be carrying my old pair of TerraVenture 2s just as a camp shoe. It was recommended to me very highly that I bring an extra pair of shoes in case my feet get wet. And I didn't want to rush out and then buy a pair of camp shoes because I don't typically carry camp shoes. So I figured I'd just use what I have and not spend any extra money. The last little bits of insulation that I'll be carrying are my insulated buff. I love this piece of gear. I've used it as a head wrap, as a neck wrap, as a face covering. It does a really, really good job of wicking moisture away from my body and adding just a little bit of extra insulation where I need it. Beanie and gloves, because again, we might see some freezing temperatures. Well, as far as clothing goes, that's pretty much it. I'll also be carrying my little electronics Diddy bag that has a spare camera battery and my battery bank for charging up all my equipment. I will of course be carrying my little first aid kit, water filter and dirty bag, my 2 smart water bottles that I've been carrying all season. I have gotten probably 100 miles out of these 2 bottles. I try to use these until they just can't be used anymore so that I'm not adding to landfills. My little poop kit, a little Diddy bag. This just has random odds and ends that I might need. There's a little knife in there, there's a lighter for my stove. My reading glasses are in here because I don't like to wear my regular glasses on the trail if I can help it. My Spot satellite communicator. As far as my cook kit goes, I'm just bringing my Toaks Titanium pot and my MSR Pocket Rocket 2. Pretty much the same thing I bring on every trip. And I will be carrying my Hilltops Packs food bag, and of course a little bit of paracord, just in case we have to do a food hang here or there. So the big question is, what am I going to be putting all this gear in? My Osprey Exos is still out for repair. If you watched any of my Ruby Crest Trail videos, you'll know that the internal frame on that pack snapped. Thankfully, Osprey is repairing it for me. It's just not going to be back in time for this trip. After the Osprey broke, I took that as an opportunity to buy a new pack because I'm a gear nerd and I like having new packs. So I purchased a Superior Wilderness Design Long Haul 50, but that's not going to deliver until at the very earliest, mid-December. So I guess I could borrow a pack from a friend, or hold on, my doorbell's ringing. I'm really sorry about this. Just give me 1 second. So that was weird. There's nobody out at the door, but there's this box sitting on my front porch from Waymark Gear Company. Let's see what's in here. It seems like my pack problem is solved. This is Waymark Gear's framed light. It is a 50-liter pack. I have been asked to test out and do a review of sometime down the line after I get some miles on it. So I am incredibly flattered and very honored to have been asked to test out this pack, and I am going to put this thing through the ringer and give it a proper review. So that is the gear I'm bringing on my Utah adventure. As a safety measure, I'm gonna bring with me in the car a freestanding tent. I've been told that a freestanding tent might be the smarter choice, but I am very confident that my X-Mid is up to the task. So I'll bring the freestanding tent, I'll bring the X-Mid. So at the trailhead, I will make the decision as to which tent is going to be better for this trip. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will watch the Utah trip video that is inevitably on its way. So I want to have one extra pair of 3, 2, 1. So I want to have one extra pair of Sykes, really?